Yeah, Marty, thank you.
I was surprised. I got lots of momentum going already. my wheel isn't as, there aren't as many sticks in my spokes as I thought there was.
Great. And so when it comes to what are the results been like in your business?
I don't have as many clients as I want. I do have a really strong online presence.
Great.
And so that part is good. Business foundation. I loved how Dennis mentioned, business is business. And sometimes I think we forget that in the coaching industry if we've had other business experience, right? Even if it is in a completely different industry. I owned a construction company, so I understand business, right? So that and the online authority, also poking at my unshakable beliefs, I see where that is. And I can see that there's momentum, much more so than I thought there was.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah. So where do you think you're a little bit stuck or stopped?
Oh, I know 100%. It is in a core belief from way back. I know it. And I've been trying to work on it. It's just not going very well.
So what is that belief that's playing in the background that has you put a cog in your wheel?
It has to do with safety. So it's very funny because I have a strong online presence. And as I said, I love to speak and engage, in front of large groups, except when I look at it honestly, there's a part of me that really, really doesn't want to be seen. When I was a child, the only way that it was safe to be seen was if I was, perfect. And so to be seen in front of all these people and to have, core beliefs that aren't helpful is not perfect. And it's like, okay, even though in my mind, cognitively, I know, yes, I know we're all imperfect and we have these things and I can still be an effective coach. My core belief tells me, it's not safe to do that.
Are you willing to have a breakthrough?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sorry. That's okay. I drop the F-bombs once in a while too. Okay, so consider there's one thing that happened that had you believe you have to show up perfect. What is the thing that happened? Because you made that decision. Nobody else imposed it on you. You decided because of something that happened. What was that thing?
Oh, it was because when I was a child, if it wasn't perfect, my physical safety would be in jeopardy.
Do you remember one time in particular? Because there was probably a lot, but do you remember one time that stands out the most?
Yeah, and it wasn't me. Sorry.
It's okay.
I made the mistake and my sister was beaten.
So what happened?
I wasn't paying attention. I was supposed to watch my sister. I was 7. And my father was working on something. He was fixing something mechanical. And he told my mother, don't let the kids touch this stuff. And so she asked me to be in charge instead of her doing it. And she said, don't let your little sister touch this. And of course, me and my other sister were playing. And my baby sister grabbed this piece. I didn't know. My dad came back, couldn't find the piece. And when he saw that my baby sister, had it, he punched her through the wall. And then I got in trouble. Yeah. So I know it's not my fault. I know. But it still is there. And I see that plays really into this because I am dealing with other people and I feel a great responsibility.
Okay, hold on. Stay right here, okay? So when that happened,
Yep.
consider you made a decision about yourself in that moment. What did you decide about yourself?
That if I wasn't perfect, I wasn't worthy.
I think that's your adult brain thinking that, but I want you to think as a 7-year-old. Because your perfection thing, that's another story. That's not this story that's stopping you.
Okay.
So just, I know it's hard, but go back to that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And your sister got in trouble and you're watching it, and then you got in trouble. What decision did you make about yourself?
That I was responsible for other people.
So that you were responsible, or you were, I think it's a little bit deeper than that.
That I hurt other people.
Well, if you're saying, I don't know, it's likely not it.
No.
So like your dad said, don't touch this. And your mom said, hey, watch your sister. You're 7 years old. You and your sister are playing, doing kid things. And then your sister touched it. Your dad couldn't find it. And then there was like a physical consequence for that. And while you're watching it, you probably had a thought in your mind about like something right there in that moment watching it.
I don't know, when I think about it, all I think about is guilt.
So that's the emotion attached to it. But there was a belief about yourself. Maybe it is, I'm irresponsible.
I don't know that help me out, guys.
Or maybe it's my fault.
Well, yeah, of course. I thought it was my fault. I felt, yeah.
And when you're like, if we had to put like, if it's your fault, do you go through life blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong?
I think I'm more the opposite. I'm proactive. I try, instead of blaming myself for everything that's wrong, I try to make sure everything's perfect. Right? So it's right? So I try to fix everybody and everything else.
So I need to fix this, or I need to, there would have been a command, something that okay, let's go here.
Okay.
If you could have shouted anything at that time to protect your sister, what would you have said?
If I had said anything to protect
like
my
if
sister?
you could have said anything in that moment to protect your sister, what would you have yelled?
It was my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. So with this belief that it's my fault, who did you have to become in order to survive that?
Oh.
And I think you already said it. And I think you're right. Yeah. It is this.
Yeah.
So if everything's your fault and you're wrong and irresponsible and all those things you decided, in order to survive that, you decided I have to be perfect.
I overcompensated for sure.
And now what did you give up in order to live into that story?
Oh, that's a great question. My authenticity. Yeah.
So you pretend a lot.
Not so much anymore. because I've seen through the mask and was terrified that, oh my God, that's not even who I am. But yeah, yeah, it was maybe not pretend, but just hold back. Vulnerability is not really it's not easy for anybody, I know, but I know that that's something that I work with, and yet work with people all the time wanting them to show up vulnerable, right?
Yeah, so there's two things that are like holding you back in your business. And I probably could have even said to you, like, perfectionism or like looking good is one of the things. Because when we went through that flywheel, when I said, like, what are you getting from that? You're like, I'm already there. Like, I'm on the right track. It's really great. And then when I said, what have the results been like in your business? You kind of skirted around that question. I don't know if you noticed, but I knew I was going to come back to it.
Yeah.
Right? Because in this world that you're living in, it's not safe for you to be straight, to not look perfect, to show some insecurities. It's not safe. Physically, it's unconsciously, it would not be safe for you to express the truth. Now, this is the problem with this, you guys. I'm talking to Marty, but I'm talking to every single one of you. It becomes inauthentic because we weren't born to be this person. We chose unconsciously based on a survival mechanism. So you've been going through life protecting yourself by being perfect. And by doing that, you've given up your authenticity, showing the world who you really are, which is magical and powerful and extraordinary. This is what happens, guys. Something happens, and then we attach a whole bunch of stories to it. I'm responsible. I screwed up. I'm bad. I'm wrong. I hurt my sister. Like, all of these things have collapsed to become your reality. And all you're doing is going through life protecting that reality. Now, if we could separate it to see that that's what happened, but that's not who you are, who would you be being in the world? And this is a real question for you, Marty. Who do you get to be in the world if you could let go of that?
I would definitely be more free-spirited, for sure. Yeah.
And if you were more free-spirited, what would that be like for you?
Oh, a breath of fresh air. Yeah.
Like, do you guys see that in her already? Like, your funky hair, you're stylish. You seem like a free spirit.
Because I'm working my way there.
Yeah. See, this is the real shit that's stopping us from growing our coaching business, not because Marty doesn't have it in her. She has it and more. She has what I call the being of a coach, same as Dennis and Kyle and Romana. You guys have the being of a coach. You just have beliefs that are so strong that you're fighting those.
Mm-hmm.
What if we can just embrace them? What if we can just embrace the fear and all these stories that we've attached? That's your superpower. What you've been through and overcoming perfectionism, because that's who you are for me. That's how I see you. You are going to overcome this. One of the distinctions in our program is messy, not perfect. We encourage perfectionists to do things messy all the time. But when you are able to do that, what a tremendous gift you're going to be able to give to all your clients that are dealing with the same thing. Now, what are you getting in this? What are you hearing?
excitement, hope. It's funny because I have literally, and I know when we do our own introspection, right? There's all sorts of shadows and whatever. And this was like very good. Yes.
It's fun.
And thank you everybody for indulging and holding the space. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. So great. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Marty, for your vulnerability and having a breakthrough.